Hi, welcome to Lovesaranghae with Peter and Andrea. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take you on a journey into the exciting world of entrepreneurship, relationships, and the secrets behind achieving that coveted glow. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of Lovesaranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. Today, we're diving into the art and science of skincare product layering, a masterclass designed to help you maximize your skincare routine for healthier, glowing skin. Whether you're a beginner overwhelmed with all the steps or a skincare guru looking for pro tips, this episode is for you. Grab your favorite serum, settle in, and let's go.
Let's go.
So, Peter, I think this is the number one question that I get asked in terms of layering is why is the order of layering skincare products so important? And what are the key principles to keep in mind?
Yeah, so it's a great question. Before I answer that question, the reason why we're doing this episode, so we talk about layering quite a bit here at Saranghae, right? Layering is a quintessential part of Korean skincare. It started with a 10-step skincare routine about 10 years ago, and it's kind of morphed from then, right? Although we talk about it quite regularly, we get questions from our customers asking, how do you layer? What's your principle of layering? All the time. So we thought we'd address it in a standalone episode of our podcast so that it's something that you can concentrate on without having to go through all of our other podcasts as well. So here we go. So the principle of layering is based upon 5 pillars that we have. So there are sub-routines of those 5 pillars, but the 5 pillars always go something like this. Pillar 1 is cleanse. And there are sub-routines from that. You can have oil cleanse, you can have foam cleanse, you can have micellar water. They're all part of the cleanse. The second pillar is exfoliate. And again, you can have multiple pillars or sub-pillars of that pillar, which is chemical exfoliation, physical exfoliation, and so on and so forth. The third is concentrated correctives. And this is a very broad range of steps. You can have anywhere from 1 to 4 different steps of concentrated actives, depending upon what you're trying to do. For example, you can have actually pure hyaluronic acid as a moisturizing and hydrating corrective. Retinol belongs here as well, bakuchiol, vitamin C, niacinamide, azelaic acid, you name any of the concentrated correctives, it kind of belongs on this stage, and you can mix and match on the steps depending upon skin type, skin concern, and your skin stage or skin age.
I feel like this is where people get confused.
Yeah, they do.
Like the treatment pillar is where people are like, I don't know what to do with vitamin C. I don't know when to put the retinol in the morning. Which routine?
Oh, we'll address that. And then fourth pillar is calm inflammation and heal. So this is where all of the steps prior to pillar 4 are inflammatory. You're cleansing, you're exfoliating, you're concentrated corrective. They're all inflammatory. So you got to calm your skin down. Okay, this is the latter half of the circle where you come back to proper skin health, right? So fourth pillar is calm and heal. Fifth pillar is moisturize and seal or protect. Okay, from the elements. And again, SPF belongs in this stage as well if you have that step. So again, each 5 pillars can divide into sub pillars, and so you can have a 20-step skincare routine if you really wanted to, but nobody that I know wants a 20-step routine. But just so you know, this whole Korean skincare phenomenon started with a 10-step skincare routine from Korea. So there is a skincare routine out there with 10 steps if you're willing to try it, right? We usually
have the time to try.
We usually recommend 5 is the sweet spot. 3 is a minimum. And if you really want to, go Korean K-beauty, 7, I think, is probably where you want to stop, right around there, right? And to finish that thought off, the nighttime routine is far more important, and you need to be consistent with that and should have more steps. Daytime routine is much more versatile. And we'll address that as well. And the last rule of thumb is, within each stage, thinnest to thickest. Okay, so when in doubt, take the thinnest serum or the thinnest product first, thickest goes layers on after. So that's why cream is usually at the end. SPF is the last.
If you think about it, the thinner consistencies penetrate the skin more deeply, and the thicker ones are designed to stay on the top layers of the skin, which is why the thinner one have a more foundational job.
Yeah.
And then the moisturizing and protection, their job is more a surface level.
That's right. So our skin is the largest living organ. I always say this, and I repeat it over and over again. Our skin is the largest living organ in our body. It is a living organ, which means you have to treat exactly like our kidney, heart, liver. There are 3 layers. You got the lower layer, the mid layer, and then the epidermis, the dermis and the epidermis, which is the outer layer. We call it stratum corneum. Each layer needs to be treated differently, slightly differently, but each 3 layers must all be treated to have the best effect.
Yeah. So how can someone listening to this tailor their product layering routine to their specific skin type or skin concern? So, like, for example, if you have dry skin, what would a layering routine look like for someone with dry skin?
Well, so someone who's dry skin, and so it all depends on 3 things, right? Remember? So skin type, skin concern, and skin stage. So, for example, a dry skin person who has a problem with acne and who is 19 years of age is a different layering strategy than somebody who has dry skin, is looking for anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, and she's 7 years of age.
Yeah.
They're different strategies, right?
So let's talk about a mid-mature person.
Yeah.
Who has, I mean, most of our listeners, I would say, are between the ages of 30 and, 55, 60.
Okay.
What would be, a 40-year-old person's layering strategy for dry skin?
Okay. So somebody between the ages of 40 to 45, for example, skin type is dry. Skin concern is, let's say, anti-aging and or hyperpigmentation. But let's just say hyperpigmentation not an issue, anti-aging, and then she's at the 40 to 45 skin stage. So it's a mature or mid-mature to mature skin stage. So your skin is getting a little bit more aging and it's showing signs of aging. So pretty simple. You always start with a cleansing step, right? Because if you don't cleanse properly, you end up with free radicals that create oxidative damage. Then you have an exfoliation step. At this particular stage, if you're not looking for hyperpigmentation or you have a non-oily skin because you're dry skin, then you probably don't need chemical exfoliation just yet. So I would say cleanser, a brush with the cleanser. So that's a physical exfoliation. If you really want to do more exfoliation, I would recommend some kind of a coffee scrub. Again, avoid the chemical exfoliation unless you really feel that your skin needs some of that chemical exfoliation.
I would actually argue against the coffee scrub for your face.
Yeah, okay.
Coffee scrubs work really well for your body, but for your face, I find it too harsh.
Yeah. Well, we used to have a matcha scrub that was really nice because the physical scrubs were very, very small.
Yeah.
But
much more gentler on the skin.
Yeah.
The
now,
face is very sensitive.
Yeah. But if you have dry, sensitive skin, then you want to avoid harsh exfoliation.
Yeah.
Okay. So step 2 is not as important, or pillar 2. Pillar 3 is then treat. At this particular stage, you're looking for anti-aging, straight up anti-aging. I would recommend the retinol or 0.1% retinol or the vegan retinol alternative Bakucho. One of those 2. I always recommend a 10% niacinamide because it works really well with any of the concentrated actives to brighten your skin, control your pores. So 2 there. And then you calm inflammation and heal. So you have the choice of Deep Radiance Essence and Serum. That's a healing serum or moisturizing serum. Calm and Glow Snail Mucin 96, which is a very good anti-inflammatory, which is what I recommend. Or the Aurora Bioactive Collagen Serum, that one as well. Now, if you're a little older, if you have really dry skin and you're like, your skin stage is 70, 75, it's okay to actually stack the Aurora Bioactive Collagen Serum with the Snail Mucin.
Yeah, I'm not 70, but I do that. In the winter, I'm very dry. My skin is typically very dry, especially in the winter. So for me, that's exactly what I do. I do the Aurora Bioactive Serum, then I wait like 10 seconds, and then I do the Snail Mucin. And then I wait a few seconds after that just so it absorbs. Yeah. And then I move on to...
Yeah. Now, if you're oily skin, then you might only want to do one of those, right? So it, again, depends on the conditions. The 5th step is moisturize and protect. For winter, dry skin, 40, 45, we recommend the Firm and Lift Regeneration Cream. You can do the Aurora Bioactive Collagen Cream if you really like the consistency and the weight in the daytime. So that's what I do. I actually use the Firm and Lift I have a combination to oily skin, 50 years of age, and my concern is your overall skin tone and skin health. And I use the Firmament Regeneration Cream at night and the Aurora Bioactive Collagen Cream during the day because of the consistency difference. And lastly, and then Elixir can come, that falls under Moisturize and Protect as well, and SPF falls under Moisturize and Protect as well, if you want those steps. So those are the basic steps of a skincare routine, from cleanse to moisturize and protect, light to heavier for somebody who has dry skin, mid-mature skin stage, and anti-aging as a skin concern. So that's an example.
Yeah, so I hope that's not confusing for you, but
Probably.
basically you want to cleanse, light exfoliation, and that could just be a toner. It could be like a matcha exfoliation, or it could just you could skip that step if you have dry skin. And then if you're older, you might want to use a retinol or bakushia. Calming step would be either a serum or a snail, like a snail mucin, or one of a Aurora or Saranghae serum. And finally, either the Aurora moisturizer or the Firm & Lift, depending again if you have dry or oily skin. So hopefully that makes sense.
So let me just kind of expand on that, right? Can you tell the audience, like a lot of people many of our customers will say, do I really need this step? Do I really need this pillar? Because, obviously budget is always a concern.
Yeah.
But you don't always want to, be dealing with a 7-step skincare routine. So the first thing is, they'll always say is cleansing really necessary? Is exfoliating really necessary? Can you address why the 5 pillars are the 5 pillars? Like, why do we need the 5 pillars?
So I think, here in North America, a 5-step skincare routine feels like a lot. A lot of the women I speak to are moms, the business owners, or they're very busy in corporate, and they don't have time to do 7 steps, or they think they don't. But then if you go to Korea or somewhere in Asia, a 5-step is like basic. So it's really what we make time for and what we deem important. Because you're not going to skip feeding your kids for breakfast because that's important. But for some reason, you'll skip taking care of your skin, the biggest organ on your body, because that's not important. So I think we need to look at our priorities and what matters to us. And if your face and your skincare is not that important, then for sure you're going to find ways to cut. But going back to your question, Peter, when we look at the first pillar, which is cleanse, the cleansing step to me is the most important step. Koreans will agree. If you're not cleaning your face, if you're not washing your face properly and really cleaning out those pores, it doesn't matter what you put on top of it. You're just going to clog your pores and create more issues. So the most important foundational step to any skincare routine, morning and night, is your cleanser. Some people ask, if I have oily skin, do I need to use a cleanser in the morning? And I would say that it depends. If you have oily skin, even combination skin, I would say yes, you should still be using it. If you have dry skin and you haven't worked out that morning, so you're not sweating, then maybe you can skip it. But you have to see how your skin responds to just splashing your face with water in the morning. For me, I do have dry skin, but if I don't wash my face in the morning, if the application of my makeup doesn't look as good, it's almost like the prepping step for your makeup and what's to come afterwards. So it's really important that you cleanse first. Exfoliation for me is only a toner. I only use our hydrating toner. Again, because I have really dry skin, I want something really gentle. And I think it's important, if you're not exfoliating, you're not stripping the dead skin. So what's happening is it's just sticking. You're just slathering things on top, and your skin looks dull and dry, and it doesn't look fresh.
Exactly. So if I can just interject, if you have oily skin or acne-prone skin, the results of not exfoliating, or not cleansing or exfoliating properly shows, because you break out, right? Yeah. So people who don't have acneic skin or oily skin, they're like, well, I don't see a difference. Well, the difference is with what we call ashen skin. So customers will email us and all the time says, my skin looks dull. it looks a little patchy. It doesn't have that shine or that glassy look that the Koreans have. What am I doing wrong? Well, that's the key. The key is that you're not stripping away the dead skin to let the new one shine through. And over time, it looks kind of ashen, where the light doesn't actually reflect off your skin in the proper way. It absorbs the skin and it makes it look a little dull.
Yeah.
So that's what we mean by ashen skin. Look it up in Google. It's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Google, Dr. Google. Yeah, so moving on, the treatment step, so I'll be honest, I skip it sometimes because I don't have rosacea, hyperpigmentation. I don't have a lot of the skin concerns that are pretty common amongst customers. So sometimes I don't do any of that. I don't put retinol. I don't put bakuchiol or cinnamide. I just want something simple. That would be my daytime routine. I would skip all the treatments. And then I would go straight to the common glow, which is the healing step, because I love how it feels. And I love what it does for my skin in terms of hydration as well. So that would be my step that I would not leave out. And then the moisture and protect, always moisturize your skin and always sunscreen. So if you're going to cut anything, I say you probably want to cut out the treatments for now. And even you might be able to cut out the serums, like the calm inflammation and heal if you're cutting out the treatments. You could, I hesitate to say that, but you could cut those things if you wanted like a basic foundational treatment, skincare routine. So cleanse, exfoliate, moisturize, and protect. And that would be the basic skincare that I would.
That's the basic skincare for skin treatments at the foundational level.
Yes.
So that doesn't work though if you're looking for hyperpigmentation solution or anti-wrinkle solution, because then now mind you, even if you didn't do the concentrates or the correctives, you could still get benefits of that just because you're practicing good skin health.
Yeah.
But to accelerate, like for example, I use our hyperpigmentation duo, which consists of a 25% vitamin C serum, 1% tranexamic acid, 1% glutathione, and 10% niacinamide. So those 4 ingredients in combination have been clinically proven to work as well or better than hydroquinone at reducing hyperpigmentation. So right now, if you look at the screen, the people who are listening to podcasts can't see it, but if you're listening at the video, looking at the video, I don't have much spots, but I did. So because I'm a runner and I do alpine mountain climbing, I get a lot of sun on my face. And about 3 years ago, I used to have lots of spots covering. The treatments of the duo that I use have basically reduced all of it. Now it comes back if I stop using it. That's the nature of hyperpigmentation.
Yeah.
But that's why it's part of my daily routine at nighttime to use those 2 correctives after exfoliation and before my calming and healing step.
So the main point here to take home is you have to understand your skin. So you have to know what kind of skin you have, oily, dry combination. And then you have to look at your skin concerns. So is it anti-aging? Is it hyperpigmentation? Is it rosacea? What are the things that are challenging for you when we talk about your skin? And then you look at your age. If you're 19 years old, less is more. All you need to do is cleanse, moisturize, and sunscreen. That's it. If you're 45 or 50, then you're going to be looking at anti-aging and so on. Okay, so those are the things that we would need to consider when we're thinking about layering and what steps to cut out. So it really does depend on what your goals are and what type of skin you have and your age. Okay, so the next question a lot of people ask around layering is what role does time play in skincare layering? Should we be waiting between steps? Or can we just keep lather it all on as fast as possible?
No, that's a good question. Great question. So the rule of thumb is that your skin should be moist, but not wet.
Yeah.
So I usually, our friend Amanda from Marketing Sucks, she always says, brush your teeth. So she will cleanse, then exfoliate, and then she'll brush her teeth, and then layer on, et cetera, et cetera. She'll use time frames or actions in between the steps to give herself some time for her skin to absorb the products. I usually say somewhere between 20 seconds minimum, 45 seconds average. Give about, I'd say 45 seconds in between steps so that your skin is moist but not wet.
Yeah.
So that gives your skin time to absorb the nutrients, absorb the actives, and get prepped for the next step. But however, you should never put on dry because of the way skincare products work, our skin allows permutation of products when it's wet, when it's moist. So it should be always on slightly damp.
So even think about when you come out of the shower. As soon as you come out of the shower and you dry off, put your skincare on your body, on your face. It's most effective after it's been cleansed. So think of it that way. When you come out of the shower, you lather it on your body, you're going to lather it on your face as well.
That's right.
And it'll
Exactly.
be most effective that way. Okay, what are the best practices for layering active ingredients? So a lot of people say to me, I have retinol, I have vitamin C.
Great question.
I have niacinamide, I have AHA, BHA. When do I use those? Like, how do I layer those together?
That's a really good question.
Come after. So do they come after the toner? Do they come after the moisturizer?
Great question. So first and foremost, all active concentrates come between the exfoliation stage and the healing stage, right? And it's designed purposely that way, right? So you dig the skin, you clean out the skin, you dig everything out, put the nutrients, the concentrated correctives in to heal, and then you heal your skin. Like it's basically a big circle, right? The rule of thumb with concentrated actives is this. In a skincare routine, like a nighttime skincare routine, the rule of thumb is not to combine too many, and I'm talking no more than 2 correctives that are pH 3.5 and lower, or actually 5 and lower. So for example, if you're using 2% AHA, BHA, so salicylic acid and lactic acid, you can combine any number of these ingredients if your skin is used to it.
Yeah.
So if you've been using...
It's time.
Exactly. So if you've been using 2% AHA, BHA for 2 months and your skin has gotten used to it and you're a good cadence, you can then try layering on 25% vitamin C.
Yeah.
Although I still would suggest not staggering retinol. Retinol is the big one. Like it's the one that, because it's so irritating to your skin, whether it's retinol or retinal, and retinal is better for you than retinol in terms of efficacy and skin irritation, you can still combine a lot of the correctives together. So I would say watch out for AHA, BHA, vitamin C, retinol. Those 3. Watch out on stacking those 3 together in the same routine. If you really want to use retinol and vitamin C together, retinol at night, vitamin C during the day. But if you use vitamin C during the day, you must use sunscreen. Not because it hurts your skin anyway, but because vitamin C is an unstable antioxidant, UV light will quickly make your vitamin C ineffective. You're just wasting your money.
Canceling it out.
Canceling it out, yeah. It'll just simply oxidize really quickly, right? So that's the rule of thumb there.
Yeah.
If you're using retinol at night, I suggest, and you really want to exfoliate, I suggest on the days that you use retinol, do not exfoliate with 2% AHA, BHA, and vice versa.
So basically, you're separating the vitamin C, the retinol, and the exfoliation of AHA, BHA in different steps.
Yeah.
So if you want to use vitamin C and retinol or retinol together, you separate them, vitamin C in the morning, retinol at night. And if you're on the days you skip. So if you're using the AHA, BHA one day to exfoliate, that day you won't use retinol.
Yeah.
Basically, all these actives are used after the toner and before the serum. Think of our Deep Radiance, think of our Aurora, think of our Snail Mucin. That comes after because that is the healing, calming, anti-inflammatory step.
So, by the way, those of you who have been listening to our podcast know this answer already, but the reason why we call our concentrated active serums, I like to call them concentrates, right? The reason why we call them also serums, and because you might be confused. Well, you have serums here, and the 25% vitamin C serum, you have Aurora serum. Like, what's the difference? We the concentrates we had to name serums because the FDA asks for a category. So they're like, is this a cream or a serum? So we're like, no, it's a concentrate. It's an actual concentrate in water or oil. And they're like, no, you got to tell me, is it a serum or a cream? They're like, all
They
right.
don't have a category.
They don't have a category, so we have to say serum. So really, it's a concentrate. And those concentrates are slightly different than serums, healing serums.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, last, before we move on, 10% niacinamide. So we have two other serums, which is 2% bakuchiol, vegan retinol. Those are fine for in combination with any concentrate. We've tested it and it's perfectly fine. Although morning, night,
with vitamin C,
yeah.
with AHA, BHA, it's fine for all those scenarios.
Although, in my opinion, I would separate them. So retinol at night and bakuchiol in the morning to get the anti-wrinkle effect for both day and night. And then the 10% niacinamide serum with 1% glutathione, which is part of our hyperpigmentation duo. So there is literature out on the web that says that you should not use any serum or any liquid that is of neutral pH, so 6 or 7, which is what 10% niacinamide serum is stabilized at, with a high acidic or low pH acidic serum like a 25% vitamin C, because it renders each other less effective. And that's actually a myth. And that test was done a few decades ago, and they mixed two unstable solutions together in a vial under high heat, extreme heat, for a long, long, long time. Those conditions are very impractical. And in fact, the later studies have shown that combining a vitamin C serum with a 10% niacinamide or niacinamide serum is highly synergetic and highly effective for hyperpigmentation as well as collagen synthesis and anti-aging. So that's the latest. So, we're just disproving the myth there.
So hopefully that was helpful. I know it's a lot of words and a lot of steps to sort of keep track of. But if you go back to the 5 pillars and try to remember those, everything else becomes a lot easier. So cleanse, number 1, exfoliate, number 2, treat, number 3, which are your correctives, your actives. Calm inflammation and heal is your serums and your snail mucin, for example. And 5, moisturize and protect, which is your moisturizers and your sunscreen. So if you can remember those 5 pillars, this all becomes a lot more simple. And if you do it in the right order, then you're getting the maximum benefit from each of the products because they work really well together. And then the last thing to keep in mind, if you really have to look at your lifestyle and what you can be consistent with. So if you only feel that you have time to do 3 steps, then do that and do that every single day. Don't miss. And if you're consistent with that and you feel like, okay, I can add 1 or 2 more things, then do that, but don't skip it. Consistency is the name of the game there.
Yeah.
So simplify if you must. Cleanser, moisturizer, SPF during the day. In the evenings, you might do a cleanser, you might do a serum and a moisturizer at night. If that's all you can commit to, just commit to it and stick with it. Do you have anything else to add, Mr. Lee?
No, I think that's very good. I think some of these words are very hard to pronounce, even for me who pronounce these words. Hyperpigmentation, blah, 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 blah. My God.
A lot of syllables.
A lot of syllables. We gotta stop naming such big names in our products because I can't pronounce them now either. I can't read my own handwriting and I can't pronounce the names of our products. Very interesting. But that was it. Listen, my final thought is this. If you have questions, concerns, or anything that you want to touch base with us, just go to our website, click on the heading. You'll see a menu item called consultation. Yes, I can't even pronounce that word. Consultation. Click on the arrow down, and there's a button called Ask a Consultant, and you can then fill out a form and just specifically ask a question, and one of our skincare experts, or myself, or Andrea, will answer them for you. And sometimes I do half the questions.
You get us.
Yeah, half the time I do actually answer the questions myself because I enjoy it.
Another option, if you want something really quick, is to go to Instagram at Aurora Skin, and you get me, and I'll respond right away as soon as I can. But anyway, hopefully that was helpful, and it does answer your questions or many of them. Remember, layering is more than just applying products. It's about understanding your skin, your products, and how they work together to give you the best results. So until next time, we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Lovesaranghae with us, Peter and Andrea. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave us a review. Your ratings and reviews help more people like you find our show. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share this podcast with someone you think would love it. Until next time, love yourself, love one another, and love the world.